Turf Talk 101, man. Travon Smith here, and it's always a pleasure to hang out with these young men, future ballers, future NIL guys, future collegiate athletes, future doctors, lawyers. Man, it's a bunch of all of them. But this young man, I got a chance to watch personally from the sideline last year, the stands. Kind of got to know him better. He probably don't even know how much I know of him, but I got a chance to watch him at practices and things like that. And I'm a fan of his work ethic. I'm a fan of his attitude. I'm a fan of his confidence, and I've got a chance to watch him do a lot of that. Without no further ado, Mr. Dominic Catalano, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Man, I'm hanging in there. It's definitely a pleasure. Go ahead
Yes,
and
sir.
introduce yourself. Tell people what class, what school, any accolades that you're proud of that you have, and we'll take it from there.
My name is Dominic Catalano. 5'10", 185. I play quarterback at Corona Centennial. I'm class of 2026. And nothing really accolade wise. Just I had to sit behind a great quarterback in Hassan Longstreet. But I made the most out of the playing time I got. I had a couple starts last year. Week one started against Mater Dei, had 300 total yards. And then rotated a couple games in, started a game, almost broke the single game passing record, but yeah, definitely had a good year, but just made the most out of my time.
And I want everybody to pay attention. Make the most out of his time. He wasn't even started. He wasn't even starting. So we can't wait to see what you got this year. I want to rewind a little. I like to go back and travel before the season because I kind of know detail for detail what happened during the games. I want to talk a little bit about your offseason. What's some things that you focus on in your offseason going into last year, knowing that you would be out back there with Hassan? Some things you focus mentally, physically, and just talk us through your off season.
Definitely just like tuning in with mechanics and stuff. I'm newer to the position. I was a baseball guy growing up, so just tuning in mechanical things, but just definitely just really honing in on like the film and everything like that. Just preparing because you never know when it's going to be your turn if you got to step up, and that's just kind of how it is. Like at Centennial, just next man up, just always be ready. And when you do get your opportunity, you just got to do your job, put your team in a position to win a game, and just do everything that you can. So definitely just focusing on everything I could do, knowing my circumstances, and just giving everything I had, just the best that I could, just best effort every day, 110% as much as I could. So
And I definitely see that from you. With no jokes aside, like I see the effort in you. I see the viciousness you run with. It's like
yeah,
you trying. You kind of like remind me of a tie heel, like when you're running, like you're trying to run into somebody and hurt
yes,
somebody.
sir.
But I caught on something right there that I didn't know about you. I didn't know you was new at the position, and that says a lot about you because you look like you actually been playing the position for a while.
yeah. I just the COVID year, I watching my brother play my whole life.
Yeah.
Just wanted to try something new, and I held back that COVID year and was like, all right, I'm going all in on football. Like I played 1 year of it. I was like, I love this. Like this is what I want my future to be in. Like if I can do anything to it, just
De-
work my
well,
butt off.
Well, I definitely think you got a future in it. I will talk a little bit about that because you're at the stage of stages. So in the off season, are you heavy on 7 last year? Like what's the regimen? I don't know if we talked a little, like the workout regimen besides the mental reps and getting prepared. Like are you a believe because 707 is different for different people. Is it
Yeah.
good for you as a quarterback? Because
Uh,
I think it's good for quarterbacks. But go ahead.
Personally, for me, I'm not a big 7 on guy just because like my play style. Like right now, like I'm speed training. I got 4 days a week outside of school, and then I just do quarterback training, lift. I do like everything. Like I'm not really a big 7 on guy,
Okay.
just because like even like with the Centen offense, we're not taking big drops or nothing. Everything's built out of the run game, so it's not like for Centen guys, I wouldn't say it's the best thing, but I mean, it's definitely helpful like learning how to take a drop from under center, like taking it off the tee and everything like that, because that
Mhm.
stuff really matters. And like when you're in front of a coach, they want to see because next level footwork isn't you're gonna catch the ball out of shotgun and do like a play action fake to your running back right next to you. So I'm not a big 7 on guy, but there's definitely is some good things to it. But yeah,
No, no. I just asked that. I'm not a 7 on guy either. I'm just gonna be frank with you. I just
yeah,
asked because I didn't know some quarterbacks do. But recently we talked to a couple wide receivers. They're going to college, D1 colleges. They don't play 7-on-7 either. So I think
Mm-mm.
7-on-7 is kind of overhyped to me because, like you said, when Centennial, you got those linemen and you play a physical kind of ball. You
Yes,
can't
sir.
show that physicalness with 7 on. It's just hurry up and get
Yeah.
rid of the ball. And half of them are throwing a lineman anyway that's out of position 7-on-7 anyway.
Yeah.
um I'm noticing like you're real, like you articulate yourself well as far as the game. Is that something that you pride yourself on, like the variables of the game, knowing positions, the study habits, and things like that? Because I can tell that you have some background in that information.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Well, like even with meetings, today we had a meeting. We went over what every single offensive lineman does on pass protection, how every single lineman is supposed to block, like their assignment on every run play. So that all starts with Coach Logan. He definitely instills that in all his quarterbacks, and just everything is just detail oriented, and you have to know what every single person is doing, whether it's the running back, how he's supposed to pick up the like a blitzing linebacker, so you know how to step up and where to step up to, or then you have like what a receiver's doing. Every little, just you have to know every single detail and everyone's job on the field, no matter what the play is. Or if I have to call help to a certain lineman, like if he doesn't make that call, oh, I have to make that call.
Mhm.
I'm trying to have time to throw, so I have to know every single job, every single call. So it's definitely Coach Logan instilling that in all of the quarterbacks. So
And I want to remind people it's February and they're already in the grind of the hustle of the playbooks, the details. I want a lot of schools to hear that information. They're already there. Um, if you're just tuning in, man, we're talking to Dominic Catalano, quarterback, Corona Centennial. I got a chance to watch him last year. A confident quarterback. He started against Modern Day. I mean, what else do you need to say? I mean, people wait their whole life to start a game like that. Talk about going into game one, supposedly the backup, but you're starting. I think Longstreet has a foot injury, toe injury, something
yeah.
like that. Talk about when did you get the word and how did you react, and let's go from there.
So I didn't necessarily know until the Wednesday of the game, because it was a Thursday game. So
Wednesday.
yeah, so I was just prepping, like just everything, walk through, take it all, live reps, like practice every endo, everything, take it as a live rep, because you never know. Because I knew there was a possibility that I might have a chance to play, and I found out as soon as our walkthrough ended on Wednesday that I was the starter. So I was taking first team reps and like splitting, but I wasn't like confirmed or anything until that after that Wednesday walkthrough. So
Uh-huh. Talk a little bit about the emotions after Wednesday, after you finding it out.
I was
What's some
just
what
I was super excited.
what's the mental reps? Talk to me. What you do? What you go through, man?
Definitely, I was a little nervous going into it, because I
Okay.
was like, "Oh shoot, this is my like first real start." Because I before that, I got thrown in a couple games, just like little pass or whatever, but I never really had real varsity experience. So it was definitely a little nervous, but it was really exciting. Like that was the most fun game I've ever had. So like as soon as I found out, I called my parents and I was like, "I'm starting," and they were just like, you know what to do, just do your job. You have nothing to lose, go out there."
I, I, I wish more people would have known that before you started, bro. I had no
Yes.
idea.
Yeah.
I swear to, like, you didn't look like, yeah, like, you know how some people look like a deer in headlights? You didn't look like a deer in headlights. You look
Yes,
like
sir.
y'all was Centennial and they was Modern Day. It was a battle back and forth until, a couple situations happened.
Yeah.
Um, so talk about like, I'm interested in picking your brain. Talk about like in the game, we start nervous, then we start settling down. When did it happen when you started settling down during the game? Was it a hit? Was it a pass complete?
Uh, so first play of the game, we pop out with just I have a 20-yard run up the middle of the field, and then that drive ended. Just forced the interception. It was just dumb decision. But
Yeah,
as soon as because I didn't really realize, like, okay, like whatever, I made a mistake. But as soon as I took a really big hit, and that one that one hurt pretty good. Nasir White, incredible player. He got me pretty good. As soon as I took that hit and I walked off the sideline, I was like, all right, like that's when I
yeah,
really was like, okay, like we got to do something here. We got to put the team back in the game, and we ended up at halftime. It was 22-17, close game. We were going
yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth. So definitely after that big hit I took, I was like, okay, let's do it. Like,
I,
you gotta get back up.
I honestly remember in that game, besides, I'm gonna put the asterisk, besides I never knew that was your first game like that. I
Yeah,
was like, I could tell the game slowed down for you.
for sure.
I seen it because you started like you started scrambling and you started dumping it. I was like, okay, he's found his little niche now.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
modern day is always gonna be modern day, but let's talk about the rest of the season, some games you played in, contributed it in, and let's talk about, what was going on in those games. What was the next game that you played in, boss?
The Santa Margarita game, I rotated with Hassan. It was kind of a slow game. Coach Logan, he took all the blame for it, but none of the offense, none of us did our job. So
Mhm.
that it's always nice having someone take that blame for you, but realistically, it was on us. None of us really did our job at all. So that game was just ugly, and we got our butt whooped. But we definitely bounced back from that adversity,
Uh-huh.
and I think we won 9 straight after that,
Yeah,
up
yeah.
until the semifinals. So, and then I started our last game of the regular season against a really good Chaparral team.
Mhm.
Super competitive. I think they went pretty far, and I think D2 or D1, whatever it was, great team. And I threw for 300. I think it was 356 yards, where I
Mhm.
almost broke the single game school record for passing, which was awesome. So that was, I mean, but nothing compares to that modern day game. That was the most fun I've ever had in any game.
Hey, that's the most experience that a lot of quarterbacks will ever get. But
Yeah,
two things I want to say. First of all, I was at the 7-on-7 tournament where you put up 60 on Chaparral defense. So so I already knew that was coming. Second of all, we're talking about a guy that put up 300 yards, maybe what some of the most passing yards for a guy that's just starting to play varsity football. So that tells you his intellect. It tells you his skill set. And somehow, some way, Centennial always finds these character of guys. Talk a little bit about the culture of playing at Corona Centennial and living up to the expectations as a quarterback.
it's definitely instilled in you. As soon as that season ends, like, I mean, we'll just start on your first day of freshman year. You don't go to Centennial to just win games or whatever. You go to there to compete for a state championship game. So, and you go there to compete to win that game. So it starts as your first day as a freshman. And, every day, Coach Logan, he has like little pictures on the wall where it says GBT, get better every day, get better
Yeah,
today. So, I mean, it's just all about what can you do to get better, like today, tomorrow, how are you going to be a better player? And just everything's a live rep. So in practice, everything is full speed, no matter if it's an endo, no matter if we're just looking at a front, how are we going to call this? Like, you got to be, like quick with it. So everything is just full speed, and it definitely prepares us. And just our culture is just like Coach Logan always says, fast and physical.
and it's definitely a culture that they stand by. And if you never ever really understood what fast and physical mean, I challenge you just to go to a practice. It's like that for 3 hours, and it possibly could be 4 hours, and not one parent's gonna complain because that's just the way it is over there. I want to talk about going into this season, man. Talk about the expectations you have for yourself, speaking into an existence. You know what I'm saying? I know you're not one person to run from the lights, grab the bull by the horns. Talk to me about the expectations you have for yourself and some of the moments that you can't wait for.
Well, we'll just start with the moment I can't wait for. I can't wait to play Mater Day again.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like there's a couple mistakes I made where we could have. I feel like we could have won that game easily. um, where I just made a couple of mistakes, but definitely expectations every year. Go win a state championship. That's
Mhm.
that's what you go to Centennial for, like I said earlier. But I definitely want to. I want to throw for 3,000 yards with at least 25 touchdowns passing, and I want to have at least 500 on the ground with another 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
So those are definitely my goals. But I mean, the expectation is just you go to Centennial to compete for a state championship every year.
man. If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Dominic Catalano, quarterback, Corona Centennial, going into this year. I got one word of advice for. I got a couple little gimmicks I'm gonna throw at you. What, man? Slide a little bit. They need you for the
Never,
season. Hey,
never, never,
hey,
never.
if you see this dude run, you already know he's not gonna slide. So, but remember, they need you for the whole season. So I want you to
Yes,
remember
sir.
that. I was going to ask you a couple questions. What sport would you possibly get a scholarship if it wasn't football? But I think you answered it earlier. It was baseball.
You'll be surprised. It's actually not.
Okay, talk to me.
So I'm a pretty good golfer. I was on the golf team. I couldn't play unfortunately because just like the football schedule, the days like it just didn't work out. But
Yeah.
I'm like a 12 handicap in golf, so I'm
Okay.
pretty good.
Hey,
So
hey,
that
I
that's
know.
what would be my
Hey, you
sport.
know what? I do real estate. Hey, golfers for people that doing business.
Yep.
You're a
Yes, sir.
businessman out there. I got you. I got you. If there was no football at all, what career choice would you make?
Um, I would probably realistically, I want to be like a sports psychologist.
Okay.
So, definitely some with that. I plan on majoring in psychology, so I would probably want to do that because that's like the most, um, I guess the most overlooked aspect of like an athlete, like
Yeah.
how their mind and everything affects them on the field.
Yeah.
So I think it's so important to be in the right headspace no matter what you're doing. So probably sports psychology.
Yeah, and that's definitely something needed. It's a lot of pro athletes and college athletes and even high school athletes that go through ups and downs, and it's hard to manage. You know what I'm saying, with the adrenaline rush that you guys get from playing in whatever arena you play in. Last one,
Sure.
fourth and five, fourth and five, fourth and five, going into the end zone. No, 1 second on the clock. What play you calling? What's your go-to play that says, "Coach, this gonna get us in the end zone"? It don't got to be from y'all playbook. What's your
Uh,
play?
QB draw, put it in my hands. Let me go run somebody over.
I got you, man. Hey,
Yeah,
I
that's how I
appreciate
play.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, if you don't know this man, follow his dreams, follow his story. It's gonna be a hell of a year to watch this dude. I'm gonna be tapped in a sideline via on whatever channels they come on Max Prep. I'm gonna be tapped in with you, man. Good luck. Stay healthy. It's Dominic Catalano, quarterback Corona Centennial. I can't wait to see what you do this year, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I appreciate you for hanging out with us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, man. Take care. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.